And we are joined by Dan Hodges, who is our naturalist out of the Johnny Appleseed Metro Parks District. And it looks like you are out in nature and trying to show us all these trees that are starting to bud.
Yeah, Lynn, this is great. And so we're looking up into the canopy of this tree right here. This is a silver maple. It's one that I've got in my yard. Maybe you have it in your yard. Really a popular urban tree. This is the time of year when you start to see things opening up on the trees, and we kind of already know that, right? Spring is an exciting time for a lot of things, and trees budding out is really exciting. It's also exciting for my allergies, which maybe is not so exciting for me. But, you know, there are really, really cool things happening with this tree. So hold on, let me grab this for you. Because we're looking at these flowers here. And that's what's happening on this tree. So you can see this whole big cluster. Let me pull one off here. It'll be difficult to see, but I've got a couple of photographs that I'll send to you. But if you see these little flowers here, what we're looking at on this particular tree is the female flowers. In fact, that's all I can find on my tree at home, is all female flowers. Now, the females have these kind of long, they look like rock candy. I don't know if you've ever played with that as a kid, but they have these long red pistils that will receive pollen floating in on the wind. The male flowers are releasing that pollen into the air, so that it'll hopefully carry it to the next tree down the line. And that's what causes issues for us, right? It's when pollen is windborne, it's carried in the air. That's when it's fine enough to really kind of mess with our sinuses and get in there. By the way, the National Allergy Bureau, if you look that up, has a station in Finley. It'll tell you that the tree pollen is relatively high right now. That's because a lot of flowers, not just this maple tree, are starting to bud.
Now, do we have to worry about this whole budding situation? Because we keep getting thunderstorms and high winds, and I keep seeing them on the ground or on the highway, and that means they're losing them. So is that a problem right now?
Good question. I think that some of these trees are kind of naturally inclined to be pruned, and some, silver maples, certainly not the strongest of woods. But that pruning is not always going to be the long-term damage to the tree. Of course, a tree falling down, like several have on my road, that's not going to be helpful at all. But this isn't the only tree that's starting to bud out too. In fact, the silver maple is almost towards the end of its flowering stage. You'll start to get oak soon, and elm, and a variety of others that have this windborne pollen carrying it to the next one. Now, a lot of us maybe think, well, why even have the tree? Well, first of all, the female tree is not so bad. I'm going to have to deal with cleaning up the mess of the seeds later on. But having these trees in our lives is, in my opinion, worth the short-term difficulty of taking some allergy medication in the spring, because the amount of benefit from having these trees, the shade and the increased property value, the wildlife habitat, the joy and pleasure of just sitting underneath a tree in your yard or in your neighborhood, I think is worth the kind of the trouble of putting up with some of these windborne allergies. So be on the lookout right now. Now's the time. Maybe your allergies aren't flaring up yet, but maybe now's the time to start thinking about getting some of those allergy medications from the pharmacy, and preparing for something that, while a little bit troublesome, really it is kicking off the season of what with a lot of better things to come.
Dan Hodges, thank you so very much. You are always a wealth of information, and we will be back with more right after this.